About 12 months ago, the idea of Kyle Busch behind the wheels of a race car for a team other than Joe Gibbs Racing was beyond the realm of possibility in the eyes of many. Fast forward to the present day, and he's not only successfully midway through his second racing season with Richard Childress Racing, it's common knowledge that he's switched teams. But the precise reasons behind the breakaway from his old team, where he reigned as champion twice, have always remained something of a mystery. But first, hit that like and subscribe. Curiously, fresh insights into NASCAR's working have come to light this week, shedding new illumination on the scenario. The revelations seem to confirm what some had suspected all along, that Joe Gibbs Racing may not have been entirely truthful in conveying its intentions of retaining its most triumphant driver. Flashback to April of the previous year. When quizzed about his forthcoming plans with Joe Gibbs Racing, Kyle Busch didn't choose to address the question himself. Instead, he diverted the inquiries to the team owner, not once but on 2 different occasions. It was a signal, a sign that things were not exactly right. This little drama continued to unravel itself over the next 9 months, becoming an intriguing storyline in the NASCAR world. Statements started to emerge from both the owner of JGR and Toyota, expressing their desire for Busch to race for them again in 2023. This sentiment was echoed across other officials within the JGR setup. Dave Alpern, who holds the office of JGR president, expressed his thoughts on the matter last July. For years, since the conclusion of the 2017 season to be exact, we've been pretty straightforward about our wish for Kyle to operate the number 18 car. Despite our sport experiencing an outpouring of enthusiasm and support, we've been unable to secure any sort of financial sponsorship, and the process is taking longer than we initially expected. This isn't down to a lack of interest, rather, it's a testament to the complex nature of aligning all the necessary components. As a result, all these developments are expected to unfold concurrently. The prospects for the immediate future kept getting shunted to a later date. At one point in this journey, there was buzz that Oracle was set to become the primary sponsor, but the agreement didn't materialize. This situation provoked Joe Gibbs to voice his concerns on more than one occasion. We poured every single drop of sweat, blood, and tears into this endeavor. We tapped into the deepest corners of our souls, seeking out the last vestiges of our strength, energy, and dedication. We toiled, not just during the day, but during the endless nights too, as we relentlessly pursued our objective. We did all of this to maintain the status quo, holding on tightly to the precious bonds we formed, aiming to remain one inseparable, united force. However, even with our most earnest attempts, our collective striving, the colossal effort that we invested, we missed the mark. The demands of our task were gargantuan, akin to the labors of Hercules. The pressure was like carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders, and the stress was as suffocating as being trapped underwater without an air source. Battling these formidable obstacles and facing such daunting adversities, I've come to realize that this year has been a rocky and turbulent journey. This time has been hard, not just for one person, but for all of us, every single member of our close team. Fast forward to 15 years later, a period in which we worked shoulder to shoulder, day in and day out. Busch took the stage, making an official announcement in the crisp autumn month of September. He confirmed the whispers that had been circulating, the hushed speculations that were running wild. He announced his decision to shift his loyalties to Richard Childress Racing in the year 2023. This public statement brought an abrupt halt to the whirlwind of rumors that had been sweeping through the racing circles. More importantly, it marked the end of an era, closing the chapter on the relentless dedication and resolute tenacity displayed by his former team, JGR. Once the press conference concluded, this well-regarded driver took a moment to engage with the throng of reporters. He spoke candidly, uncovering some astonishing facts, revealing certain unexpected truths that were hitherto unknown. The driver's lone response was, "The situation just didn't transpire as you think. It appears that they were preoccupied with a host of other projects on their plates. They could be scouting for other sponsors to back different drivers, which might be the course they are setting. But you might be led to believe that they were primarily driven by the lure of financial profits, and would rather save some dollars by underpaying a champion instead of paying him what he rightfully deserves. That's a criticism that makes sense. Did anyone tell you that the popular number 18 car wouldn't be available next year? If not, I am telling you now." A key factor that contributed to JGR's decision to let him go was the opportunity to have Ty take over his seat at a significantly reduced price. Busch's comment about a fair assessment more or less solidified this conjecture. This seems to imply that we might have overstated how grueling it was to secure sponsors and how much sheer hard work and energy it demands. By revisiting these assumptions, we are coming to grips with the reality of the situation and the dynamics at play. The highly anticipated 2023 Business of NASCAR report, meticulously curated by Global Data, is finally out, throwing light on the current business dynamics that rule the thrilling world of NASCAR. Making headlines this week, the report delves into the nuances of the sport, detailing the financial underpinnings of each team that has left tire tracks on the raceway in 2023. Among the intriguing data it furnishes, it outlines the income brought in through each team's sponsorships, painting a fascinating picture of the financial realities behind the adrenaline-filled spectacle. A startling revelation that emerged from the report is the surprisingly high earnings of Team Penske, a figure that soars above a staggering $140 million. The key contributing factor behind this inflated figure is their clever crossover deals with the IndyCar team. Their strategic tie-up allowed the team to capitalize on the best of both worlds, ushering in a profitable year. However, not far behind in the race for earnings is another unexpected contender, Kyle Busch's recently formed RCR team, which has impressively managed to rake in a significant sum over $104 million. This mammoth figure further underlines the commercial potential that exists in the realm of NASCAR and how astute strategies can convert this potential into reality. What's more intriguing, though, is the positioning of Busch's former team, Joe Gibbs Racing. The once dominant force on the track has fallen to third place, with an earnings of $98.95 million. At first glance, one might brush this off, thinking, well, the difference isn't too drastic. RCR is merely a tad over $5 million more annually than JGR. However, if we delve deeper into the numbers, a more complex narrative begins to unravel. We can see two noticeable differences after looking more carefully at the numbers. First, RCR gets its money from a large group of 53 sponsors, while JGR depends on a smaller group of only 34 sponsors. This alone constitutes a major disparity that challenges the initial assumption of RCR merely outpacing JGR by a narrow margin. Secondly, the revenues each team is working with are considerably different due to the fact that JGR boasts 4 cars, while RCR manages just 2. This aspect underscores the fact that the financial dynamics of each team are far from identical, and a simple surface-level comparison can be misleading. There's more to the story as we shift our focus to 2 additional 4-car teams that have etched their names in the top 5, Hendrick Motorsports and Stewart-Haas. These are teams that are worth keeping an eye on due to their strong standing and competitive performance both on and off the track. Moreover, one noteworthy phenomenon that is evident from the report is the appeal that Kyle Busch holds for brands of all kinds. They are eager to hitch their wagon to his star and be associated with this formidable driver. Previously, officials from Joe Gibbs Racing put forward a narrative that securing funding for the 2-time champion was impossible. However, the revealing figures in this new report dispel that assertion, clearly indicating that there was no shortage of brands willing to back Busch's endeavors on the raceway. Why did Joe Gibbs Racing let go of their 2-time champion? What happened behind the scenes that led to this surprising decision? And with the vast difference in sponsorship and revenues between the teams, how is Kyle Busch shaping up in his new environment? Let us know in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe for more.